So guys, like right off the top, instant reaction. Tyreek Hill gets traded. What do you both think?
Okay, so Tua, they also got Teron Armstead there. Josh, I'm going to let you argue here in a minute.
I have a Teron Armstead take too.
They got extra protection for Tua. So now the ball is going to travel instead of 5 yards down the field, 10 yards down the field. So that's my hot take on it.
Yeah, Teron Armstead, the famous left tackle that likes to block blind sides, except when you have a left-handed quarterback, your left tackle does not protect your blind side. So good job, Dolphins. You got the right player for the right job.
I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. No,
he
okay.
Also plays like half the season every year. But
well,
anyway, whatever.
Beside the point.
So my thing about this is I'm not even going to get into how much I hate this trade in general, but my thing is the Chiefs got boned. The Miami Dolphins own 2 first-round picks next year, theirs and the San Francisco 49ers. And they got a first, a second, which, yeah, super valid. The Eagles own their first, so there's not much there, and it's the 29th pick, so whatever. But first and a second, which is fair for a generational talent like Tyreek Hill. But then they got a fourth and a fourth and a fifth. And then they had to give up Teron Armstead. So I didn't even know about that until just this moment.
They didn't know. They signed Teron Armstead.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He came from free agent.
He was the top free agent in this overall class. So Teron Armstead was a major signing.
Okay. We didn't get into offensive line, so I'm just wild. But like, why to get into the Tyreek Hill discussion, which we're going to get there, but like, why did Miami not give up more for Tyreek Hill? I know that this was a last minute thing. And also, how did this happen in a day? Usually this is like,
so it's apparently been happening for a couple weeks. It's just been happening so low key that it just now is coming out, which I find kind of surprising in this day and age that somebody didn't leak that. But apparently that's where we were at. They were down to the Jets and the Dolphins. The Jets weren't willing to give up pick 4 or pick 10 to make that trade happen. So Miami was willing to give up that first-round pick. By the way, they have 2 first-round picks in 2023. Neither of those were touched.
That's what I'm saying. So, why weren't either one of those on the table? It should have been 2 of those picks.
What happened to the days where you trade 2 or 3 first-round picks for player? Well, not 3, but 2 especially, because you had the Jalen Ramsey trade. That was 2 first picks. You had Jamal Adams. That was 2 first-round picks.
Jamal Adams happened. That's when no one would do that anymore.
Yeah, and I guess that's where we're at now.
What are we talking about? Russell Wilson just got traded for like 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, I think a quarterback's different because Deshaun Watson also got traded for 3 first-round picks, which we'll get to that. But Tyreek Hill, the contract was the problem. I think the Chiefs were only willing to give him 3 years, maybe at the max, and he ended up getting 4 from the Dolphins, and he is the highest-paid wide receiver in the league.
Anyway, can we get to how this is the downfall? This is the downfall of Tyreek Hill at this point.
Yeah, we can get to Tyreek. I actually think Tyreek might end up being okay in this situation, and it all goes down to Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels knows how to scheme players into good positions. I think Tyreek Hill, this is going to be one of his heavily used rushing years out of the backfield. I think he's going to be put into schemes where he catches the ball at the line of scrimmage and runs, which is what he's good at running. It's not necessarily going to be these 75-yard bombs down the field, which Mahomes would do. It's going to be more like a 8-yard out that he takes for 60 yards. Like that's going to be more of what we're looking at here. And I actually don't think it's going to affect him terribly bad. Honestly, Tua is put in the worst spot in all this, but I think Tyreek Hill's still a wide receiver 1. It's just not maybe top 3. I think it's more like 8.
I agree with that part, but at the same time, I just don't see any deep balls. So, and that's what Tyreek Hill made his money off of. So he got his
fast.
No, I get it. 80-yard touchdown. That's not happening this season, So therefore,
we didn't see a ton of them last season. He was moving more to that dump off receiver role.
I just don't see the dump off receiver role paying off for fantasy purposes. I don't.
But Jalen Waddle just broke the record for receptions by a rookie last season and that's without Mike McDaniels.
That wasn't what Waddle was doing though. Waddle wasn't really the dump off receiver. I mean, he was more of a slant.
He wasn't catching down the field. What was he getting? He's getting it thrown to him at or around the line of scrimmage.
I don't know. I don't like this for Tyreek Hill. I think Tua's garbage and.
That's the worst thing about this trade is what it does to Jalen Waddle because
Jalen Waddle's stock plummets.
Yeah, Yeah, I think he's still going to be very serviceable in fantasy. But you're looking more at a PPR guy instead of someone who's going to win you weeks consistently with what he was getting. So that kind of hurts. Now on the Dolphins end of this trade, it's genius because they have their first rounders next year. If they need a quarterback, they can get one, and he comes into a stacked offense. Absolutely,
and they can package with
Yeah.
this pick. So
I love what the Dolphins did here. It kills me to see that happen to Jalen Waddle. I don't think Gesicki really takes the hit at all. As far as the Chiefs go, I mean, the Juju signing is definitely way more valuable now. Can we trust Mecole Hardman?
We'll get to let's get to the Chiefs in one second.
I got to trade.
Okay,
on the
well,
table,
I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs offense, as we know it, is over. It's not going to happen the same. I think that they're going to fundamentally change their offense into more of what Andy Reid used to do with Donovan McNabb. I don't think it's going to be like we've seen this air raid offense these last couple of years. I think Mahomes is going to take a major hit from this, and they're going to draft receivers. They're going to get some people more involved, but you can't trade a one-of-one player and just try to replace it. It doesn't work like that.
They tried to do that literally with Mecole Hardman whenever Tyreek Hill was
not going to work. They're
going
to draft like Jameson Williams this year. He's not Tyreek Hill, and they're never going to be Tyreek Hill. And so I think that they're going to have to, and Andy Reid's smart. This is like a Brady Belichick thing. They got to just evolve the offense to what they've got personnel wise. Mahomes is not going to be doing what he's been doing the last 5 years. It's not going to work. It's just not. So I think Chiefs side, Mahomes, his QB1 days, I think, are behind him.
I'm actually honestly kind of worried about Juju because the thing I was happy about Juju whenever he went to the Chiefs was Tyreek Hill is the number one and Kelsey's the number one. I mean, maybe that'll still work with Kelsey being there, but Juju proved that he couldn't be the number one after Antonio Brown left in Pittsburgh. So I just wanted to see him as that number 2, number 3 kind of deal. And maybe that still works with Kelsey, like I said, but at the same time, I'm worried about him. And then Mecole Hardman has never fully had that position. So I hope, but what we've seen from him and Demarcus Robinson's on the Raiders now and these other people, Pringle's on
my Bears, baby.
All right. Sorry. Well, okay. So
big free agent signing of the year.
Unless this rookie really hits, unless they get the next Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, it's really going to hurt them.
But that's not what we're doing here, I don't think, anymore. Juju Smith-Schuster, run blocking wide receiver. He's really good at blocking. They have Marquez Valdes-Scantling in the building. Guess who's a really good run blocking wide receiver?
Who's their running back?
Currently it's CEH, but I think that this kind of is tipping their hand of what they're going to be after this year.
You going Breece Hall?
Ronald Jones, man.
I think the Chiefs are going to be after a running back in
low possums
draft.
Ronald Jones.
No, Ronald Jones is not going to win this job. And neither is CEH.
He goes in there. He's a better runner than CEH right off the bat.
This is gonna be a running team. I think that we need to start opening our minds.
Do they redraft their running back though already after CEH? 2-3 years
I don't think that they grab one with their first pick because I think they still need a couple other things. But I think
they have 2 first round picks. Yes. I mean, they're both late round picks. Breece Hall could be there.
Yeah, well, they still got to figure out their defense, which is still awful, by the way. They still haven't done a darn thing to address that. But that's beside the point. Chiefs have a lot of problems coming their way now. Tyreek Hill was a glue guy holding the offense and this team together. It was not Mahomes. It was Tyreek Hill. No other person on that team's going for 200 yards in a game. That's not happening.
Everyone else in the AFC West is glowing up and they are glowing down, which is not good.
Yes.
Which makes it more competitive, which should be really fun to see who wins that division.
I still think the Chiefs could win. They're going to adjust how they play this offense. It's going to, in my opinion, they're going to go more run heavy, and it's going to be less Pat Mahomes gunslinging out there, breaking out wide. It's going to be more run heavy, and then Pat Mahomes has to make a pass when he has to make a pass.
So I do pose a question in this because we saw this happen with Rodgers getting the huge contract and then Devontae Adams bolting, wanting to be the highest paid receiver and getting a huge contract with the Raiders. Do you think that Mahomes' contract played into Hill doing this because he saw, hey, my quarterback's getting all this, it's all because of me?
That's exactly what
Are we going to see that in the future? I think we're going to see this a lot.
You know who caused this to happen, Joe? His name's Christian Kirk.